Here's a question from the vidIQ community. Can you make an updated video on YouTube Shorts? Absolutely. You're too late. That ship has already sailed. Can you believe it? It's been almost a year since I made my very first video about YouTube Shorts, before it even had a name, before anybody knew how to really create one. So from where it was then to where it is now is quite remarkable. Having now been rolled out globally, everyone should now have access to the Shorts camera tool. And there are estimated to be over 4 million channels making nearly 50 million YouTube Shorts on a regular basis. And to be honest, this number likely only reflects the tip of the iceberg. And that's because just 6 months into the beta, YouTube were already claiming that 6.5 billion shorts were being viewed every single day. And that was before YouTube started messing around with the UI and put a shorts button on the front page. The result of all this now means, according to TubeFilter, that YouTube Shorts bring in more than 15 billion views per day. Now I'm finding this figure pretty difficult to comprehend since the population of the entire world is still a shade under 8 billion. So this is the equivalent of every single person on the planet watching 2 YouTube Shorts every single day. But if this number is true and we extrapolate it over the course of a year, that is 5.5 trillion views. I mean, this is all utterly bonkers, isn't it? I'm still trying to visualize how this is even possible. All of which brings us back to monetization, the YouTube Shorts Fund, and that promised $100 million. If you share that cash amongst the 5.5 trillion views, well, that's how much you'll be earning. Good luck. Yeah, it doesn't look as if that $100 million is going to go very far, does it? And it seems particularly stingy given how much YouTube have been making recently. That's because the TubeFilter article goes on to say that YouTube raked in $7 billion in the second quarter of 2021, a $1 billion increase on the first quarter, and a whopping 84% increase on the same period last year. And don't forget, this is all before YouTube start to run ads on some of those 15 billion daily YouTube Shorts views. But in the meantime, where has that $100 million Shorts Creator Fund gone? Apparently nowhere. Since the Creator Fund is not connected to the YouTube Partner Program, the understanding is YouTube will reach out to thousands of Shorts creators every single month in, I guess, a private invite monetization program. And you would assume that Jake Feldman, a channel with 6 million subscribers and over 5 billion YouTube Shorts views, might be at the top of this invite list. Well, apparently not, because nearly 3 months after the announcement, he hasn't heard diddly squat. 5 billion views and no real way to make any money off of it. Talk about a starving artist. That's your comment code word. Justice for Jake. But hey, maybe we should cut YouTube a little bit of slack, because remember, 12 months ago, YouTube Shorts didn't even exist. 15 billion daily views later, they're on the cusp of monetizing this platform, which I think is pretty incredible. Now, moving away from the whole global rollout and monetization of YouTube Shorts, the Creator Insider YouTube team did publish a video recently that touched on 1 or 2 interesting Shorts points. While TikTok recently introduced longer videos of up to 3 minutes, YouTube currently has no plans to follow suit, sticking with 60 seconds as the maximum length. There are also currently no plans to allow creators to customize their thumbnails, which I'm sure will continue to frustrate many. And despite the fact that they're very similar in nature, YouTube Stories will continue to be a thing for creators who have access to it. And finally, while they didn't outright admit that TikTok-style features such as stitching and duetting, stickers, filters and gestures are on the way, they did talk about an exciting roadmap of products to look forward to. But hang on. Does any of this actually matter, considering what I said at the beginning of this video about it being too late to make YouTube Shorts? You just want to see that ship sail into something else, don't you? Done! From the moment we made our very first video about YouTube Shorts almost a year ago, more and more people are watching them and more creators are making them. And because of this, the competition increases and the quality of YouTube Shorts gets better every single day. It's unavoidable. Let me put it to you like this. Maybe a year ago, you had a 1 in 100 shot of making successful YouTube Shorts content. But now maybe the odds are more likely 1 in 10,000. But here's the thing, remember this, you are still that one. You still got to take that shot. Because I guarantee you this, someone will take that shot and someone will hit the bullseye. There is someone today who is starting their YouTube Shorts journey, and by the end of 2021, they will have 100,000 subscribers. Guaranteed. There's probably a dozen people who are going to do that today. Is it too late to start making YouTube Shorts? It's now the same question as, is it too late to start a YouTube channel? Well, it's only ever too late if you keep saying to yourself, you'll start tomorrow. You've just seen the same figures as me. Over the same period of time, year over year, YouTube have increased their revenue by 84%. They've almost doubled the creator economy. If that doesn't convince you, then why on earth did you just watch the whole of this video?